Come on. I think a lot of you guys are doing your research wrong. The worst mistake you can make is not doing any research at all. And then if you're like me early on in my career, you're not getting the most out of your research. There's some stuff that you don't know yet that will help you kind of filter out some of the crap, help you get to what you're looking for faster. So I'm going to show you the 3 methods that I use the most when I'm doing eBay research, and then I'm going to talk about something called search modifiers towards the end of the video. It's just kind of a little bonus. It kind of helps you kind of filter out some of the crap that you're not trying to look for. So I had to re-record this intro, so it's about to cut to me in a different outfit, so don't mind me. So the 2 ways I do most of my research are by either looking up items at the thrift store while I'm thrifting, or by watching people on YouTube go over their sales or do live thrifting videos, so then they'll share BOLOs that they find with me. Now, I know that these are not advanced at all, and this is not what the whole video is about, but these are 2 things I can do while I'm focusing on another task for my business, so I like to do those a lot because it doesn't really get in the way, it doesn't take up a whole lot of time. So as far as the real methods go, the first method I'm going to talk about is called a brand deep dive. You'll want to use the brand deep dive method on any brand that you have regular access to that you're not very knowledgeable about. I recently used this method for the brand Ex Officio because I've been seeing a lot of it at my thrift stores recently. It's usually not priced up and I don't really know anything about the brand. So I actually took a clip for you guys kind of trying to recreate the searches I did to figure out something about this brand. So let's go look at that clip and see what I learned. Alright, first method, we're doing the brand deep dive. So let's go take a look at Ex Officio. So since I'm doing mostly men's clothing, I'm always going to put the men's behind the brand. And then I'm mostly doing pre-owned, so we're going to look at pre-owned as well. And then I want to see the sold items, of course. And I'm going to sort it by highest. I know nothing about this brand. I don't want to look through all the listings. I'm going to start with the best stuff. So, let's see, a lot of 30, so ignore that. Let's see, parka jacket, okay. This is interesting. This just looks like a normal vest and it's sold for 60 bucks. So, I'll put that in my brain, think about it later. More lots. Let's see, a travel jacket. This also says travel on it. So I got some bells ringing in my head now because I've seen travel twice. And I see, again, we got some more travel stuff twice. So now that I've seen travel so many times, I want to take a look at that specifically. Okay, it looks like a lot of people are just spamming the word travel. So let's look at the vests. It seemed like the vests were doing good. What was this called? Fly Q. Let me put Fly Q in there too. Okay, 30, 60, 41, 29, 29, 30 basically, 45. Okay, so this looks like a good item here. This is something I'm going to be looking out for when I'm out thrifting. Alright, before you go out buying stuff willy-nilly, make sure you go a little bit more in depth to make sure what you're looking at is right. But I've already looked at all this stuff before, so I know that these vests have a bunch of travel pockets, kind of like Scotty vest. So that's an item I'm looking out for now, and this is a method I did use to figure that out, so something you can use. The second method is what I call a general item search. Now for this one, we're going to start with a really broad search about just like one type of garment. So something like men's shorts or men's jacket. You really have to use the eBay search filters to make this one work. So let's jump over to a clip on eBay and see what that looks like. Alright, so I'm in outfit number 3, I know, but I was editing the video and I felt like I didn't do a great job of like making this valuable information. So the issue I was having with this segment was like it's just so general. I felt like I was just being like, alright, here's a method for doing eBay research. You do eBay research. That's what it felt like. So I decided I would get on here and I made kind of like a step-by-step plan of how I do it specifically. So the issue with this method is you start out super broad, like very general search. So you're going to be getting a whole lot of information. It's really hard to like really decipher what's actually good out of all of it because you're getting so much stuff thrown at you at one time. So it's really easy, or it's a lot easier to get to the answers that we're looking for if you start with a goal. So step one, you're gonna have to find a problem in your business that you want to address. For me, that problem was I needed to get more shorts so I could keep my sales up during the warmer months of the year. So step one, finding your problem. It's gonna be either like you don't sell enough of some item because you don't know a lot about it, so you're not sourcing a lot of it, or maybe like you want to raise your average sales price, so you want to start looking into like certain items and then find like the higher tier items from like maybe like you're selling a lot of shirts for like 10-15 bucks, you want to raise that to like $30, so you'll start looking at shirts that are selling for 30 bucks specifically, stuff like that. So now that we have a goal that we're working towards, so we're gonna go to the search and we're gonna start as narrowly as we can. So, like in my case, where I was trying to find the shorts, so I'm just gonna do men's shorts. That's the most basic way I can do this. Oh wow, look at that guy. So pre-owned, of course, I'm selling mostly used stuff. So I do that, and I know my business. I want to say, let's do like $24.99. And I'm gonna set a cap at like 200 bucks. Maybe actually 150 for good measure. Obviously, I don't want to restrict myself from seeing all the best stuff, but what happens if you don't set a price cap? You're gonna see a lot of like the super like designer like luxury brands. You'll see stuff like Louis Vuitton show up, and that's just not realistic for me. So I don't even want to. I don't want that stuff showing up. It's just gonna waste my time, in my opinion. You can look at it if you want, though. So as I do this, let me. Oh yeah, and I'm also going to set it to be only show me items within 25 miles of me because I want to know that these items are actually like out available at my stores. All right, so now I'm at the point where like I'm about to go through all this sold data. What I usually do to help remember like all the stuff I'm looking at is I'll have like a post-it note or a notebook or something, and every time I see something that like I don't really know about, something that's new to me, something I didn't realize was worth money, I'll write it down. So like this is stuff I'd look for. Yeah. Mhm. Edware, what is this? I don't. That's just it's camo. Camo's good. Okay, here's something. So let's pretend I didn't know about Tracksmith. So this is a brand. So I would write down Tracksmith on this piece of paper. And after I go through all this stuff, I'm going to have this whole list of things I didn't know about, but I want to do more research on so I can figure out what's good. And what did I say? Okay, so I'm going to go take all these notes, all this stuff that I didn't know about, just written on this piece of paper, so that after I'm done looking at this, I can go start doing deep research on these individual things. So I'll go down, just write down all this stuff, and then like, so I've written down Tracksmith because I saw it right here, and then when I see it a second time, I'll put a tally mark next to it. That just helps me get like my priorities in order. So like whatever is showing up the most, I'm gonna want to look at that first because either it's in the most demand or it's the most available. But either way, I just want to go look at whatever's showing up the most. So, yeah, I think that's about it for this method. It's pretty. It might be a really basic idea to a lot of people, but if you're new to eBay, maybe no one's like sat down and talked about this. I went a long time before I heard anyone talk about eBay research at all. So hopefully this was helpful to at least some like one person. So let's get back into whatever I'm talking about in the video. I don't even remember at this point, but we'll talk about another method and then some other thing. The third method is called a store review. This one is my personal favorite. It's exactly what it sounds like. We're just going to go on eBay. We're going to find someone that has a really nice store, someone that's killing it, and we're going to go look and see what kind of items they're putting in their store. Alright, I messed up my last recording for this one, but this method is called the store review. So I'm just going to go ahead and search something basic. I'm going to do men's pants. First, I'm probably going to go to pre-owned since I sell pre-owned stuff for the most part. The most important part is I want to look at within 25 miles because I want to see people that are in my area because they're going to be thrifting in my area. So I want to know what's available around me that I might be passing up on. So, and then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to set a price filter. Let's do $29.99. And we'll just go look, see what's sold recently. So now that we're here, what I'm doing is I'm gonna go look at the stores or like the sellers, usernames, whatever. I'm looking for someone that has like a high feedback score, so that I know that they're experienced in selling. So just for context, my feedback score is like 1,500 something. So like this person having like 7,000, like they're gonna have a lot more experience than me. So this is a store I'm interested in, and I have looked at this store before, so I know that this is a good store. So we'll go look at their store for a second, but yeah. You're gonna have to like guess and check a little bit just to see, like, make sure you're looking at a good store. Because some of these people, like, I think this guy, let me check. Some of these stores, they'll have like 10,000 items and like 800 items sold. This dude, 1,300 listed. Then like less than 600 sold. I don't know. I'm trying to find people with like a better sell-through rate. I mean, you could still look through this person's store and probably find some new stuff, but I'm more interested in this other store, to be honest with you. So get out of there. Alright, so if they have a store, it's going to take you to this page here. The way that you see all the listings, you can use the filters, is just click on the search bar up here, just type a space, and then hit enter. And it'll search everything in their store. And then I go through, I mean, you can look through the listed if you want. Actually, I do that. I'm going to look at their solds first. I want to see their sell-through. So their sell-through is pretty good. What was it? It's 2,200 sold, and they have 1,600 listed. Their sell-through is amazing, actually. I'm going to sort it by highest. I want to see what their best sales are. Okay, like Rogue Territory. I think I've heard of this brand like once, but I don't know anything about it. I think I've heard of this brand. I don't know. But basically, with this method, so the way that I use this method is to find like new brands that I know that are available in my area because other people around me are finding them, and they're brands that like I don't know about yet. So I do this every now and then just to make sure I'm not missing out on something. I found so many brands like very like there's just so many low-key brands you would not know about. Like there's not a lot of items out there for these brands, but it's just Brave Star, never heard of that brand. I didn't know you could sell Madewell jeans for $80, so that's new. Bunch of Rock Revival, yep. I'm noticing right away this person sells so many pants. I'm really I'm wondering now, like, what their strategy is for sourcing that they end up with this many pairs of pants. Ooh, here's something else I learned. I noticed on all their button fly pairs, on the first photo, they leave the button fly open, so you can see it's a button fly. So, I'm probably going to steal that for my photos if I do it like this. We'll see. I think you guys get the main point here. So I think biggest thing is you're gonna learn new brands. Probably it'll kind of open your eyes to what's around you. I kind of am able to like notice trends. Like when I went through and I looked at like all their highest sales, it was like all pants. It was tons of like boot cut and wide leg pants, and then like I learned about it might be better to leave the button fly like open in the first picture because they get pretty good prices for their pants. It looks like so their sell through is pretty great, and it's also got me wondering like what what these people are doing to end up with so many good pairs of pants. So now I'm gonna have to like go back and revisit my like my sourcing strategies, like knowing that this is a possibility now. So it's just a lot of good information because like people that have a lot of experience, their store is just basically a curation of all this great info and experience that they've accumulated along the way. So definitely my favorite method out of the three. So hope you guys enjoyed that. You won't be able to build anything if you don't know how to use your tools. That's why we have to talk about filters and search modifiers. I'm going to be quick on the filters because I think everyone knows how to use the filters. They're pretty easy to right there. You just click on them to apply the filter. But I still think it needs to be said how important the filters are. There's a whole lot of stuff on eBay and a whole lot of stuff that we don't really care to see. You're going to have to use the filters to get to like the actual meaningful information. In my opinion, the most important filters you're going to use are for condition, price, item location, and then you'll also want to sort by highest to lowest sometimes. So now on to search modifiers. Search modifiers are commands that will help you further refine your searches. I think the most important modifiers for eBay are the minus and quotation marks. We can also use commas and parentheses, but these aren't as useful in most cases, so let's go ahead and I'll show you why that is. Alright, so I want to look up shirts from this polo line called Polo Country, but I'm going to run into a problem here. So when I type in Polo Country shirt, it doesn't really matter what order these appear in. You'll notice this very first shirt here. This is not from the Polo Country line, and it also doesn't say Polo Country in the title. Country just shows up somewhere down here in like the item, like the theme or something. They put country down here somewhere. So now since I typed Polo Country shirt and it has all of those keywords somewhere in the listing, it shows up in my search. So the way I'm going to fix that is I'm going to use these parentheses, not parentheses, I'm going to use these quotations, do Polo Country. So now all these listings that are showing up now have to say Polo space country in the listing. So like Polo Country, Polo Country, Polo Country, Polo Country. So that's how we can fix some unwanted items showing up in our search. Now we're going to have another example here. So there's this brand of shorts called Legends. Alright, this is what it looks like. The problem is, you can go to search. Legends is kind of a common word, and then there's this shorts brand. It's called Legend. So if you go to search men's Legend shorts, I actually don't see any of this Legend brand, but I do see stuff like this American Eagle short sleeve shirt, and it says Legend somewhere. It's the American Eagle Legend short sleeve shirt. So since it's got these words, it's pretty close. eBay's using the best match to say, hey, maybe this is what you're looking for, but it's not. So you're going to say, all right, well, we know to use the quotations now, so I'm just going to go Legends. I just want this Legends brand, right? Why did it not go on? You guys see that? So now when I do this, now this all seems fine at first, but let me do Control F here. There's this brand called Real Legends, and I know this time when I do the search, all this stuff shows up at the bottom. Usually the top of your search is going to have a bunch of Real Legends in it, and we're not trying to see these $5 Real Legends shorts here. So we have to use a different modifier for this search. So let's get rid of that Real Legends by using this minus. We're just going to do minus real. So you're going to do minus and then whatever word you're trying to remove. If real is in the listing, it's not going to show up. We're going to do this. Now, let's go ahead and look for the word real again. It's only going to show up here, like in my search. you can see over here on this bar, once we get down to the actual search results, nothing. It's not showing up anymore. So those are the two most important search modifiers you're going to need. I use these pretty much daily. Let's see, there are some more like advanced stuff. There's like the parentheses and the commas, and then you can use all four of these things in combinations. So you can get super complicated. In my opinion, like some of these are like redundant, like the commas and the quotations can be used in the same way. But a lot of this stuff, like with the parentheses and the commas, you're really only going to use this if you're trying to do like online arbitrage and you're saving a bunch of like different searches so you can try and snipe like listings. Like if you were trying to find cheap listings where like someone misspelled a brand name, it's like we can look up like and then instead of hitting the A for Patagonia, they mistype and the S is right next to the A. So they put Patagonis in their listing. You'll see these are Patagonia shorts. They just misspelled it in their title here. So people do they'll do like online arbitrage like that, and then they'll just load up a search. Like they'll do in parentheses like Patagonis like comma, and then do like a different spelling. It's like, let's say you missed the P, you hit the L, and then you just do like 100 different versions of that. So you can use that. If you want to look at this article where you can see this little table that has all the different ways you can use these modifiers, I just searched eBay search modifiers, and then it's just barely down here. It's this one that says searching by keywords. So if I remember, I'll just put the link in my description for the video. But so yeah, that's a very, very brief overview of eBay search modifiers. It took me a long time to realize that those were a thing. I wish I knew about that sooner. It makes searching so much easier. So there you have it. We're at the end of the video. So at this point, you've either been equipped with some new research tools or you're already killing it to begin with, but I appreciate you for being here anyways. If I missed out on any good tips, be sure to drop them in the comments below so we can all see them and learn together. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time.